man.com/event. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Press 1 if you see me. Press 2 if you do not. Press 3 if it's a little iffy.
Did I make a new stream?
No, I think we're going.
Press 3 if it's a little iffy.
Press, let's see. Okay, so, well, at least Rumble stayed on the right one, looks like. That's cool. Hold on, guys. Complicated business, folks. Let's see how YouTube is doing. Excellent connection, supposedly. Press 1. Oh, yes, I'm seeing ones. Okay, what is up, everybody? Thank you, Nicolas. I could blow a kiss to you. Straight kiss. It's a straight kiss. We don't pause here. We never pause. So the pause literally just means no homo now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I heard somebody on Wow Hassan last week say, this is my guy, pause. And he can just continue on.
All right, Bill.
Okay, guys, thank you. What are we going to talk about today? Whew. We shall talk about this alleged hate crime. What in the world? You know, the stabbing. I don't want to deal too graphically in it or dwell on it, but, you know, it's news. And Hake does some news. I mentioned it briefly in Hake News. This Illinois landlord allegedly stabbed a 6-year-old boy to death and also stabbed the mother. And by the way, Charlie Kirk is not an anti-Semite. I laugh because he loves the Jews. If he loves anybody, come on. Naphtali Bennett seems like a beta. He was the prime minister briefly in the interim when Bibi Netanyahu, who is my 4th favorite Jewish man behind Jesus, if Jesus was Jewish. People say that he wasn't, whatever. King of the Jews anyway, right? And the Apostle Paul, whom some of you guys disavow him and think he's fake, and Jesse Lee Peterson. And my 4th favorite is Bibi Netanyahu. Not a beta, at least not so obviously as Naphtali Bennett. It's kind of a beta. Iran, do you stand with the Iranian women? I don't know how much I'm going to get to, but I hope to get to these things. There's mentally ill parents, mentally ill children, Zoomers psychologically damaged by inflation. They're so easily psychologically damaged. Shout out to the Zoomers. And hopefully, I've been teasing it, Georgia, Florida throwbacks, George Floyd throwbacks. There was a black man who said, get in the car, you can't win. To George Floyd during that fateful arrest, fateful for many people. And some beautiful music, everybody. So hopefully all that, and your calls, if you'd like to call in. Again, press 1 if the sound is great, press 2 if it's stopping and starting, press 3 if it's a little iffy, but you think it's okay. I think it's fine. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. La la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. Wearing my nice yellow t-shirt. Won't tell you where I got it. It's you can steal Hake's look by going on that evil website called Amazon and buying yourself a banana suit. Old joke from my chief mod. Spoiler alert. Nice. But I stay clear of those bullies like that. Like I'm a junior in high school or a senior in high school and this 6th grader bully Artie Art from Ohio acting like he's going to pull out my pocket, but not really do it because he's a respectful man. Anyway, nice. So let me get to this hate crime. just to present the information. I mentioned this in Hake News. Call Me Nonsense and the ladies at the Skim both report, because they are all over the alleged white on POC crimes, or the so-called Islamophobia things. Reporting Monday, today, the 16th of October, 2023 AD, they are mourning 6-year-old Wadia Al-Fayoum. Al-Fayoum, nice American name of this 6-year-old boy. And I'm being a little sarcastic, but he was not, maybe he was an anchor baby, I don't know. Over the weekend, an Illinois landlord, and they don't name him, but I shall. They try to not name these people because in their woman minds, and shout out to the women, they think, oh, we are not going to honor this man by spreading out his name. Joseph Kzuba, C-Z-U-B-A. Oh, I think I have a picture of this guy. He looks like he did it. I'm laughing, but only because it's amusing to take a look at a person, and it might be Satan in me, but I took a look at this person, and he looks guilty. Do I have the picture of the guy who stabbed the Muslim kid? I don't know if I forget what I called it. Maybe an Illinois man stabbed 6-year-old Palestinian boy over the Israel-Hamas thing, allegedly. I'm not laughing at the evil stuff that's being done. You people are crazy. Some of you people, I talk about R words or, crimes, apes, or, Erders may, and I may have a chuckle in the midst of things. I'm not laughing at the crime itself. I have to explain it to you guys' thick skulls? Yes, sometimes. Oversensitive people. But doesn't he kind of look like he might have done it? Anyway. That man is named Joseph. Joseph, not the father of Jesus, and not the Joseph of the coat of many colors. I'll tell you that much. This Joseph, son of Israel, the favorite son of Israel, with the coat of many colors from Jacob, Israel, who was sold into slavery by his brothers. No, not that Joseph, and no, not the good man, righteous man who wanted to divorce Mary, the virgin, quietly because she was pregnant, and not by him, but an angel told him not to, because she was going to give birth to the Son of God, Jesus. No, this is an evil Joseph, a possessed Joseph. Kzuba, C-Z-U-B-A. What type of a name is that? I looked it up and they say, oh, maybe it's Polish, which some people think, oh, Polish Jewish. What does this guy look like? A normal white or not normal white or what? I don't know. And so it's unclear. But maybe he's also Slavic. Those Slavs. I've heard things about the Slavs. But anyway, he was a landlord. Did they take away his property? Maybe he's still a landlord, but he allegedly fatally stabbed the 6-year-old boy. Not good. Because of his Islamic faith and the Israel-Hamas war, write the ladies at the Skim. The little boy was stabbed 26 times. Terrible, huh? The 71-year-old male, this guy, allegedly seriously injured the boy's mother after stabbing her more than a dozen times. I would say it would be during the stabbing that he would seriously injure her. She remains at a hospital in serious condition, according to the ladies at the Skim, as of early this AM, or last night, late. Expected to survive. Their family, I don't know if there's a father around, don't know, reportedly identified them as Palestinian American, whom this guy stabbed one of them to death. Authorities charged him with murder, a hate crime. This is in Illinois, liberal Illinois. An aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The first and last ones are fine. The hate crime, we should abolish hate crimes legislation because that is divisive and evil and feeding of suspicion of your fellow Americans. It's evil. It's enough to charge him with murder and the actions. the motivation. Motive is relevant, but should not be an enhancer of the. And hate crimes are usually an enhancer. Hate crimes enhancement in terms of the sentencing. So wrong, evil. Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, meaning communists, called it our worst nightmare, they called it. The evil DOJ, which is oftentimes enemies of America and actual justice. They launched a federal hate crimes investigation. Sleepy President Biden, or Corrupt Joe, Crooked Joe, said he was shocked and saddened by the killing of the boy. This horrific act of hate has no place in America. Well, then, Evil Joe, neither do you have any place in America. But in fact, hatred is quite at home in America, right? What a shame. Will County, Illinois Sheriff's Office were the ones who said that the victims were targeted. Ongoing Middle East conflict involving Hamas and the Israelis. So, there's supposedly an uptick over the past week in rhetoric. Okay, people are tracking rhetoric. That's fine. Targeting Jewish people as well as Muslim institutions, said FBI Director Christopher Wray on Sunday. Christopher Wray, the guy whom decent people wanted Trump to fire. Christopher Wray. So, that's the little update on that. Let me get to Alex in Texas, a first-time caller on the Hake Report. Alex, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, Mr. James. How are you, sir?
Doing fine. How about you?
I'm well myself. Just
Nice.
on the road for work. It's funny, I feel like I know you. I listen to you dang near every day.
Cool.
I thought I'd give you a call.
Right on.
Just wanted to say, I promised myself I wouldn't make this call till well after I'd forgiven my mother.
All right. Nice.
But because it's not, I didn't want to be throwing stones in a glass house here, but I just had some pointers for you on the jerky. It was months back, but you and Joel were sort of picking at the alpha jerky there, giving your Los Angeles take on it, and I just had to say that the drier, the more smoky, the harder it is to chew on, probably the better the jerky is. So
Nice.
I've not tried it yet myself. I've got plans to pick up a bag here, but I'm hoping it's really dry. We've got this stuff called Poor Man's, or Hard Times, I think it's called. Yeah, Hard Times jerky. It's about $8 for a bag. It's really expensive, but it's about the best jerky you can get.
Wow.
So I'm hoping the Alpha jerky's a lot like that. But just so you know, the Jack Links, the Matador, all that stuff is really juicy, and when you get it, and it's full of sugar, and that's all well and good, but that's probably the worst jerky, and I call it beta jerky.
Nice. Well, thank you for the tip, man. That's cool. I tend to agree with you. It is not the driest. I will warn you, not that I want to sway you or
No.
mama. Well, okay, the mama in me is mama-ing your expectations. It's not the driest jerky that I've ever had, but
All right.
but it's good. You got my mouth watering. It's funny.
Right on. Cool. Well, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, but I also wanted to make sure I was talking to you from a place of, I'm a fellow alpha male now. So
Right on, man. That's cool.
We're doing good. Yeah. Thanks for all you do. I listen to you every day. And just help me pass the time, keep my head down in this craziness going on, and I just thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you, and have a good day.
Absolutely. All right. You do the same. Thanks, James.
All right. Bye. What a nice call. See, so refreshing. Like alpha jerky. You know who else is alpha? Charlie Kirk is not an anti-Semite. It's so funny. Well, this is amusing to me. My goodness. Get your Israel kit from TPUSA. Well, Charlie Kirk, young man. Well, he's 29 years old, but I guess he was 18, roughly, give or take, when he founded TPUSA, I guess 11 years ago. TPUSA, Turning Point USA. A young, college student type of a guy. I think is a son of a well-to-do, rich man in maybe politics or something. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Don't want to feel like looking it up right now. But going to this Charlie Kirk TPUSA anti-Semitism thing. Charlie Kirk tweeted, and this came across my feed on X, his post on X. It's not a tweet anymore. Charlie Kirk 11. Funny, for the last 4 years, I've been accused of being a quote-unquote Jewish shill. So this is new. Show Charlie Kirk 1A. His, there's a little article about him. I'll get into that in a second. But show Charlie Kirk 1A, accused of being a Jewish shill. So this is new. At TPUSA, we sponsor. He's proving how pro-Jewish people he is. TPUSA, that's his organization, okay? We sponsor 300 young people a year to visit Israel. TPUSA.com/Israel. Daily on campus, we follow pro-Israel. We offer pro-Israel activism, supplies to hundreds of thousands of students. We have hosted multiple young Jewish leadership summits, all caps, over the years with thousands of Jewish students in attendance. Just last week, I was defending Israel against SJP, whatever that is, activists at a campus event at UCF, wherever that is. 3 weeks ago, we kicked a Jew hater out of an event at ASU, maybe Arizona State University, not sure, and did so publicly, so he snuck back in, giving me a chance to tell him I don't put up with Jew hatred at our events or inside the conservative movement. And he shares a link to a tweet by Ryan A. Sanchez, him attacking my Zionist ways. Ryan A. Sanchez. I think I've covered that guy before. He's a man from like Texas or somewhere. I forget what his nickname used to be. Anyway, we have also successfully thwarted BDS. I happen to know what that is. Boycott, divestment, and sanctions. And I disavow those things. Campaigns at dozens of universities. This type of libel is poison, Ben, he says. And which Ben is he talking to? Not Ben Shapiro. For a second, I thought he was talking to Ben Shapiro. You know nothing of what you speak except a 2-minute video clip where I asked questions about the intel failures of the Israeli government, which were reported by Axios and others. If stuff like this continues, Israel will lose support from a major faction of voices on the right, says Charlie Kirk, which I disavow that, Charlie Kirk. You should not be swayed by the heckling of hecklers, the peanut gallery. Support Israel and you get called a Jew hater? This is a repugnant lie from the pit of hell. Nice. Pretty funny, huh? You should be ashamed. Well, I mean, it is a lie. So what is he referring to? Okay, so let me show you. Oh, I didn't. Okay. You can show these screenshots that 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F. The different things. Orthodox millennial model, a woman, heads the drive to poach Jewish Democrats for Trump. So Elizabeth Pipko is a Jewish model gal, Orthodox. And she's speaking because, the normie conservatives like to prop up the women, including Trump. But that's all right. Next one is a Substack post from Ian Howarth, How Jews Can Fight Anti-Semitism, and they spells it with all one word, which I spell it with 2 words and a hyphen, and I don't even acknowledge it as a real thing. It's love or hate, right? TPUSA's Young Jewish Leadership Summit 2023. The next one, Young Jewish Leadership Summit, the lineup, and it has all these based Dennis Prager, based Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Well, in Gorka's case, kind of hit and miss in my opinion. But anyway, that was that. The next one, oh, this one is funny. The Israel kit. It's a box and it has different. Look at these things. Look, different posters and stickers and like postcards. America stands with Israel. Women protect what they love. And the love, the O in the love has the American star, no, not American, the Israeli Star of David, as in King David. Once a symbol used to humiliate, now a symbol of pride. The yellow star thing, which was used to mark Jewish people I heard in the World War II times. Pretty funny. So which Ben is he referring to? Let me show you. Ben Domenech. Ben Domenech. At first, I didn't know who this was. I thought it was just some random liberal guy. But in fact, this is sort of a conservative guy who I know. Ben Domenech, not Ben Domenech. However you pronounce his name. And it's not Ben Shapiro, by the way. I see this guy on Fox News all the time. But let me read his tweets. He posted on X. If Charlie Kirk remains the head of TPUSA, the right has an anti-Semite problem, at least put it hyphen, that will follow them into the coming elections. And this guy's kind of on the right, I thought. And he says Kirk's TPUSA work has made him a multimillionaire who owns 5 properties. Wow, good job, Charlie Kirk. Go, Charlie. He is set to lead a $108 million GOTV effort. Get out the vote, I think. GOTV. Get out the vote. Hey, I'm smart. In Arizona, Georgia, and Wisconsin. And not very effective, by the way. They're not very effective at getting out the vote. But anyway, that's what I heard. And he's saying Israel had a stand down order and let this attack happen. So according to some 2-minute clip that I don't have for you guys, Charlie Kirk said that Israel had a stand down order. A la what people say about, the conspiracy theorists or the conspiracy factualists. I don't know. I disavow it preemptively for the sake of my channels. About Pearl Harbor, 9/11, things like that, right? I disavow. But there's maybe some truth to it, right? Anyway. So, that occurred to me. Did anybody inside of Israel, because there's a lot of evil people in Israel, just like evil people in the American government. Don't they kind of sometimes look at the FBI? They've let stuff happen, whether knowingly or not. They set up things and trap whites and Trump supporters and Christians maybe. And then meanwhile, they get warned about these different Muslims and they're on the watch list. And sometimes, and even whites sometimes, they're on a watch list and then they go and do an attack. I mean, I get that we have our rights. But anyway, there may be some truth to it. I don't know. It's worth asking. Just for that, he's called an anti-Semite by this Ben. And look at this Ben guy. I have pictures of him, and looks like he's gained weight over the years. So here he is in 2018. Not that fat. Doesn't look that fat anyway to me. And then here he is in 2023 on Fox News. Don't you see? I see this guy on Fox News sometimes. Oh, dang. Hake just doxed that he watches Fox News. Here he is. This is him with that one guy, Howie Kurtz, and this one liberal woman who's part Jewish, part married a Muslim, and who knows, and all that stuff, liberal. I see this guy on Fox News all the time. He's always usually reasonable. What in the world? Why is he going after Charlie Kirk like this? And what I found out, I looked into him more. He's, am I being annoying? This man is, yeah, there he is. This is his Twitter, his X profile. Editor at large at The Spectator, contributor at Fox News. He has a Substack. He says you can tell a man's vices by his friends, his virtues by his enemies. The T Ransom or something like that is him. Over 200,000 followers. And I generally just like this guy. I have no problem with him. But then, look at who he's married to. Well, I don't know if I have a picture of her, but he's married to Meghan McCain. That was just shocking information to me. This is Meghan McCain's husband. She should be Meghan Domenech. 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 Wow. So, wow. Interesting, huh? And then they have this article. TPUSA hit piece that from AP, Associated Press, far left extremist Associated Press, how Trump's MAGA movement helped a 29-year-old activist become a millionaire. I'm sorry, I had the impression that he's a son of a millionaire. I could be wrong. But yeah, he's gotten rich. And he used to be kind of anti-Trump, or TPUSA did, because they're like normie conservatives, but then Trump won, and so maybe he saw the wisdom, he saw the light of the spirit behind President Trump, and he's like becoming more and more based over the course of his lifetime. I know some of you guys have counter-signaled him and griped him, if you will, Charlie Kirk, but he was like a personal aide to Don Jr. This Donald J. Trump Jr. You know, Charlie Kirk fella. It's an article by Brian Slodisco. He has a 4.75 million Spanish-style estate tucked away which means house, I guess, property, tucked away in a gated Arizona country club that charges nearly $500,000 for golf membership. It boasts a guest casita, resort-style pool, striking views of the Sonoran Desert. Sounds awesome. Good for him. I wish him well. Yet, non-profit rocketed to prominence by latching on to Our Greatest President's 2016 campaign when he won the nomination. Oh, yeah, you found it. Thank you. Wow Hassan is a man in the board for me. As always, practically always, enriched Kirk and his allies, Charlie Kirk and his allies. For all that money, the group has struggled to help Republicans win general elections. Well, money doesn't help. Money and propaganda alone are not enough to help a candidate win. They helped Carrie Lake's unsuccessful bid for governor. Carrie Lake is the one she's an election denier, though, right? In Arizona? She's an election denier. I disavow her. Notwithstanding that I support women. Their leaders are aging out of the youth movement, 29 years old, turning 30. Shout out to the 30-year-olds. Pitching $108 million Get Out the Vote campaign. And people are saying any donor who thinks an organization needs $108 million for a 3-state grassroots Get Out the Vote campaign is being taken advantage of, says Eric Erickson, which is rich, coming from Eric Erickson, nationally syndicated conservative, so-called conservative, kind of a never-Trumper, hit and miss, He's from Red State, I think. I personally have the impression that he's a rhino, and he goes, it sounds like a grift. What's this word grift? Nobody based says the word grift. You hear these people saying, grifter this, grifter that. Give me a break. I disavow such word. That's a liberal word. If you use the word grifter, you're a liberal. I've never heard anybody whom I respect and admire use the word grifter. And I could be proven wrong, and some people I respect and admire use the word grifter. So take that with a grain of salt, but it's rich pots and kettles. Pot calling the kettle black. And I'm not saying Charlie Kirk is not, but I don't know, don't care. Anyway. Yeah, AP, so curious about Charlie Kirk and these so-called conservative, mainstream normie organizations that are huge. Very flashy, very safe, not necessarily very effective, but, they get the word out. They spread, I think they're a net plus. Charlie Kirk's zeal for confronting liberals in academia won over an influential set of conservative financiers. Founded in Turning Point, founded in suburban Chicago in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, who was then 18, and William Montgomery, a Tea Party activist. Hey, the Tea Party. Proselytized college campuses for low taxes and limited government. See, they're like normie libertarians, basically, which is kind of how I see him, you know? And he's sometimes sensible. I appreciate him for what he is, you know? So despite early misgivings, Turning Point enthusiastically backed Trump after he clinched the GOP nomination back in 2016. Personal aide to Donald J. Trump Jr., our greatest president's eldest son, during the general election campaign. Regular presence on cable TV. Leaned into the culture wars. Heaped praise on our greatest president at the time when he was president, his first term. Trump and Don Jr., equally effusive, often spoke at Turning Point conferences. Yep. Contributions doubled, then tripled. And he has 4 huge properties, according to that Ben Domenech guy. Sounds like jealousy, Ben. And I like Ben. And I like Charlie Kirk. And I think they're 2 like normies fighting. Anyway. It was just amusing to me because this Charlie Kirk, he's like all the normal, ordinary, conservative Christian guys are pro-Israel. And he's, you know, a boomer-friendly organization. And an anti-Semite problem. Just because he does like a little bit of independent journalism and questioning and stuff. Psh, give me a break. 108 million? I can't even fathom it. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get out the vote and all that stuff. There's not even enough doors. Oh, yeah, the Arizona Senator John McCain, former aide John Seaton, former aide to Arizona. Go to the very number 9 since you're on here. I almost called you Asmador. Hassan. John Seaton, former aide to Arizona Senator John McCain, whose daughter's husband is the one criticizing Charlie Kirk, is saying it's objectionable. Like John McCain was this upstanding, honest politician guy, so-called grifter, right? I don't like that word. It makes me want to spit. So wasn't that amusing? And here's the guy who wrote the article, Brian Slodisco. $4.7 million mansion, charter travel, $15 million to friendly vendors, lavish wedding reception. Oh, yeah, he got married. Congrats, Charlie Kirk. Have a lot of white babies. $333,000 to Don Jr. Anyway, and it's funny because this guy, this AP writer, I doubt that he's a conservative. So what does he care about conservatives? You know, AP doing the work for honesty. Psh, give me a break. Does he look like a Christian? Anyway. All right, let's move on, shall we? William in California is on the line about the Israel situation. William, thanks for calling. What's up?
Yeah, buddy. Get your hand out of my pocket.
How come you keep on mentioning this classic and viral and horrific sort of quote about the assassination of Malcolm Little?
It's a famous line.
It is.
It's a famous line. Hey, man, nice the other day, your guest on the show the other day. Congratulations on a good show.
Thank you. That was Friday. I had radical coder Ryan on.
Yeah.
A liberal guy. A left of liberal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought of more things to ask him or say to him regarding racism, so I may have him back sometime.
Yeah, you should have him back.
Yeah.
You know, I know you had talked to Sean about, I had a long time ago, I had an agent. I was doing some modeling for sportswear, and it was just something I got into by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I understand.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
And it happens, you know. So, I mean, anyway. Oh, shout out to Suzanne Summers.
Yeah,
Bay
rest
Area
in
girl
peace.
Passed away.
Suzanne Summers. Was she pretty or funny or both?
Both.
Cute and funny. Wow.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah. Very
Rest
nice
in
person.
peace. Yeah.
Yeah, but back to what happened was I was at the track. You know, I'm into professional racing. So
Okay.
this guy seen me, and he told my dad, he said, hey, that guy right there, you know, can we talk to him? And so I did. And I went for an audition. I end up on the scoreboard of every NBA team for about 2 years.
Wow.
And I had an agent. Yeah, that's me. I don't want to dox myself. Now,
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I see you tried to follow me with your favorite caller again. You're not going to get me with that woman that's somebody's wife. I don't argue with women.
Right.
And wait a minute. I had an agent before. I know the rules. You're not getting any ratings with me and Maze. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Okay?
I have to
it's
use,
not cleared.
I have to use
I told
another.
Sean, I said it wasn't cleared by my agent.
I have to use another sensible black.
Yeah, you do.
Pretty
But
funny.
I disavow, and
Yeah.
she can't talk to me until 2024, because when I talk to her, I'm not going to be disavowing. I don't
Right on.
argue with women, James. And I
Good
got
for you.
respect
That's
for 'em,
smart.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm still a very dashing-looking man,
Right on.
and I don't do
Like
old
Joel.
broads. I don't do old broads.
Right.
I went to school with them. They're worn out. I don't mess with them.
Well,
I don't
let's keep
argue
it
with
clean.
them.
Let's
That's why
keep
they're
it clean.
so bitter. They're so bitter with everybody. I noticed that the black women
Maze.
are so bitter.
I
mean
picture
with
Maze.
everybody.
I picture Maze as a beautiful woman.
Not just her. No,
Right.
no, not her. Not
Yeah.
her. I
Good.
said black women have been so evil to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they're like all human beings, as JLP said in his opening monologue. I don't know if you caught it.
Well, I did.
They're
I seen that
possessed.
thing on Jada Pickett. That's a shame.
Yeah.
A woman that talks too much, I'm going to avoid at all costs.
And it's a shame because they've been encouraged and misled to be angry. Both their blackness and their womanness has been encouraged to be angry, and
Yeah.
it's not good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's
but that's
really
just
sabotaging.
something, a little snippet that's not going to happen. It just seems to happen all the time. It's like an attempt, but I'm not going to, like I told you last week. No, I don't want to talk. But anyway, getting to the news, quoting the one of the commanders in Israel, he said, there is no conspiracy. Yes, we are always watching. It's the same as 9/11 Pearl Harbor. No conspiracy. It just happened. They caught us with our pants down.
Right.
And they're shaking the rust off right now. And anybody that's pro-Palestine, you just don't know what you're doing. You're poking the bear because you can't compare Israel to Ukraine. Ukraine is not a major ally of the United States. So those Ari Burt destroyers and carriers are going to be out there. And there, as we speak, James, thousands of people from around the world flying into Israel right now. You do know that, right?
Thousands are flying into Israel?
They are.
For what?
They are dual citizens.
Oh, to to shore up support for Israel,
They're
and maybe
showing
even
up
fight
with
for them?
guns in their hands, man. Look, the
Wow,
Israeli
I did not know
people,
that.
they all get, I think it's drafted. They have mandatory military.
Right. Yep. Mandatory
They have
service.
fully automatic weapons to go home with. Their M16 goes home.
Okay. Nice.
And they take care of business over there. So,
It's actually a Galil, I think is what it's called.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have, they're very armed to the teeth.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to tear up some stuff. Either, what is it, today or tomorrow? The weather's a little bad, but it's coming. And they're flying in from all over the world because they have a lot of Jewish people have dual citizenship.
I know.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I do.
So when something happens over there, they do this all the time. They fly in from all over the world to support their people.
Yeah.
And I just feel sorry for the people, and they're actually telling them not to leave. Yeah, well, I think Hamas is telling them not to leave.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What a cowardly thing.
Yeah, it's actually a IDF Galil, somehow related to based on the RK-62, which is based on the AK-47. Nice, and I like the AK-47. It's a communist.
Yep.
It's a communist gun, but it's trusty. You can get it dirty. You never have to take care of it, and that's my style.
Same as their tank, their low-profile tank they have. It's like one of the best for the desert in the world.
Oh, nice.
And they're all lined up, and I'm telling you, it's about to be. Somebody said, "Get your popcorn." I don't know if I want to get popcorn for people getting killed, but
Yeah. No, you don't want to.
just the way it's going to be. They're going to fool around and I don't think you call this colonizing. This is an act of war, so they're going to probably take it and not give it back.
Wow.
So Israel could have been bigger. Israel could have been half of the size of the United States. If you think about it, after the 6-Day War, they could have took all of them, Jordan, Egypt.
Well, I don't know, because
they gave it back.
The so-called international community has a lot of worldly power, and
Correct.
even Biden is saying, "Don't do that. Don't keep it."
Well, the
so
thing is
I don't know if Biden has any power.
All of this happened because we have weak leadership in the White House anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, man.
And so this was the time for them to do it. But the thing about it is,
For Hamas
Biden's
to
only
attack.
got the carriers out there for one reason. He has to. He has to. That's not Ukraine. That's Israel. That's like our number one and number two, I think, ally. So Israel is going to be okay.
Yeah.
They just might get bigger because this place is just like basically it's a neighborhood poking the bear.
Let's hope that they can be Christian about it and do it righteously and justly.
Hopefully, James. Hopefully.
Because I know that in war, people get carried away.
Oh, it's going to get carried away.
Yeah.
The Israelis don't operate under the same rules of engagement as we do.
Yeah.
They're the blueprint of counterterrorism.
We tie our soldiers' hands behind their backs.
We
It's ridiculous.
send all of our SWAT teams
By
over
we,
there.
I mean Obama. And
a lot of our agencies are over there for training.
Oh yeah, I know. We had police over there. NYPD was over there.
Okay.
I heard when the attack happened.
Think about it. Munich,
And
the
that
Olympics.
Derek Chauvin. Oh, I don't know. I heard
Munich,
that Minneapolis.
72 Olympics, Munich. They specialize in counterterrorism.
Anyway, man, I appreciate it.
All right.
Take care, William.
All right, brother.
Bye. Let me show you what I deem to be a beta without judging him too much. I don't want to judge too harshly. Hat tip to one of my tippers. Spoiler alert, sent this, I believe. Saul Staniforth. I think you sent this spoiler alert. I don't know. Somebody did. Posted this. Clip 11, I think, is in the folder there, Hassan. Not the Patriot D one. This is clip 16-11, not 13-11. Although 1611 is fun. Ooh. This is Naphtali Bennett. This was on Sky News. You know, that Australian, supposedly conservative Fox News, somehow affiliated outlet. What about those Palestinians who are in the hospital on life support and babies in incubators that will be turned off because Israelis have cut the power to Gaza? I thought this was just some guy. Is it bad, Canadians, to say goofy guy? Just don't say, if I add a Y at the end of it, is it okay for me to say goofy guy? I don't want to call him the G word in front of the Canadian children who may be watching Hake and listening. But anyway, this fellow, I thought this was just some guy. But no, this is the ex-Israeli Prime Minister, Naphtali Bennett, whom just a year ago or so, Bibi replaced. Are you seriously asking me about Palestinian civilians? What's wrong with you? Here's the clip.
And what about those Palestinians in hospital who are on life support and babies and incubators whose life support and incubator will have to be turned off because the Israelis have cut the power to Gaza?
Are you seriously keep on asking me about Palestinian civilians? What's wrong with you? Have you not seen what happened? We're fighting Nazis. We don't target them. Now, the world can come and bring them anything they want. If you want to bring them electricity, I'm not going to feed electricity or water to my enemies. If anyone else wants, that's fine. We're not responsible for them.
This is the point.
But you
this
keep
is the
on.
point.
I want to tell you. No, listen. You listen to me right now. I've heard you enough.
No, I understand. We're trying to have a conversation here. Listen, this is my program. This is my show. And I am asking the questions. You're raising your voice, and I've asked you, and we've already stopped, please, and let me finish. We've already distinguished
Shame
between
on you,
Hamas.
mister. I want to tell you, shame on you.
You're trying to speak over me.
We
No, no.
are not. Shame on you.
It's nothing about shame. We're trying to have a conversation about a very serious situation here, and you are refusing to address it.
Jump over immediately, and again, you
Absolutely
use the
not.
Palestinian narrative.
You are incorrect.
They are responsible, because I can tell you that when the UK,
Absolutely
when
not.
Great Britain was fighting the Nazis during World War II, no one asked what's going on in Dresden. It was the Nazis targeting London, and you targeted Dresden. So
Listen.
shame on you if you go on with that false narrative.
We're not talking about that. And in hindsight, many people have listen. And in hindsight, many people have readdressed that kind of carpet bombing.
Babies. Oh, I see. Now you're Mr. Clean. Shame on you.
Absolutely not. And I'm not. Listen, Mr. Bennett, I am not in the military. I am a journalist asking you questions. Are you going to let me ask you a question, or are you continue shouting at me? We've already distinguished between Hamas and the Palestinians. I'm asking you very directly.
What do you want to ask?
Is going to be done to make sure that those innocent people don't get killed as innocent Jewish people were killed on Saturday?
Crazy, huh? What happened in Dresden? I don't know. I don't know much about history. Mr. Clean projecting. This man, I'll tell you one thing. Naphtali Bennett is no Volodymyr Zelensky. Am I right? Is he standing outside a prison? I don't know what that is. Sort of interesting. I didn't know they had grass over there. They have grass in Israel? Interviewer did a great job there, says spoiler alert. Yeah, wasn't that interesting? He was trying to talk. It's my show. That's what I try to say to my callers. I've never done that to my guests yet. I've never been, it's my show. But I've done it to my callers. I said, you're talking over me. You're talking over me. It's my show. When I fight with my callers. I wanted to hear his response, says Jib Jab. I know, I wish that it went a little longer too. But anyway, yeah, I was waiting too. I was like, oh, it stopped. Standing in front of a green screen. And so he was in case you weren't catching on, I think he was concerned about, what they say civilians. Civilians are often, maybe always, casualties of war. And nowadays, the trend is to avoid doing that, avoid having more civilian casualties of war. Hake, you are so clueless. It's funny. Thank you, Nugget Man. Yeah, I can't picture grass in Israel. But isn't that kind of beta? It seemed kind of beta. High-pitched voice, not measured and dignified and orderly like Bibi Netanyahu. I know a lot of you guys really dislike Netanyahu for some reason. What's not to like about Bibi Netanyahu? And you can list some things that he did that were maybe wrong or questionable. Maybe he is a George W. Bush Netanyahu, who's now the prime minister. And maybe I'm wrong, but just his way of carrying himself is much more manly, deeper voiced, and shout out to the high-pitched voiced fellows. And I've seen this quote that you guys have shared in the chat. The chat educates Hake sometimes. Old Saucy over in the Rumble chat on another show said, America is a golden calf and we will suck it dry, chop it up, and sell it off piece by piece. Oh, I have to say it in Bibi's voice. America is a golden calf and we will suck it dry. He doesn't say it so harshly. Chop it up and sell it off piece by piece, piece by piece. Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. He was a prime minister back in 1990. Well, I don't know what that quote means. I mean, golden calf is a reference to the false idol that the Israelites worshipped when Moses was up on the mountain. And so maybe there was something wrong that in the 1990, that was under George Bush, the daddy. And I don't know if America was doing such great things back then, He was no Reagan. And I don't know how good or bad Reagan was either, because I was a kid at the time. But, and 1990 is a long time ago. Maybe he repented by then. Anyway. So there's your quote. I read it. I will get to your calls, guys, but bottom line, Naphtali, obvious beta. Bibi Netanyahu, not so obvious to me, seems more alpha to me, based. It's time for some music. Let's listen to OK. Speaking of deep voice men singers, this is called Fight, I think. Yeah, by OK from the 2005 album High Road. Let's take the high road, shall we? I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight, you musical Philistines. And your calls, super chats, and hopefully some more fun stories. My opinion, fun. Be right back. Enjoy.
You don't have to go far if you're already where you are. There's one big giant mind for all the world. You don't have to go far. If you're already where you are, there's one big giant mind for all the world. There's no reason to hold on to something that's already gone. You are the team that you are on. Oh yeah. There's no reason to hold on to something that's already gone. You are the team that you are on. Oh yeah. There's no reason to hold on to something that's already gone. You are the team that you are on. Oh yeah.
Isn't this nice? This is a hate crime.
What is it about a dying breed?
Dying breed.
They can't let go of what you don't need.
Can't let go of what you don't need.
Fighting ain't ever free a single soul.
Fighting ain't ever freed a single soul. This song was brought to you by the letter R, or R-worded. Etarded Ray. Oops. Marty Anderson gets it, says Nicolas. Nice. Too much candy and soda. What? That may not be relevant to the... Maybe it is. Well, thank you guys for bearing with... This is so awful, says Life Enjoyer. What's up, man? I see you on Cozy sometimes. Appreciate you. Okay, is such a Frog Eyes ripoff. Yeah, Marty Anderson has had a lot of physical suffering, and he discovered some things that I think are worthwhile. It's nice lessons, even if it's... I don't know if he's Christian or not. I don't know if he's alive or not. Anyway, thank you guys for bearing with me through the beautiful music. let me get to a call before I get to the super chats, because there are plenty of super chats, and I do want to get to them. But I want to get to a call first, and then super chats, and then another call, and then more and more stories and all that stuff. Latina, not Latinx. In Cali, what's up, Latine?
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
I like Jesse Lee Peterson's take on things. I don't know if this will apply here, but I will apply it for myself because I disavow all foreign wars. I don't think the United States should be getting involved in like sending money to people or weapons to people, to cause more war. He says, don't choose sides and have a wait and see attitude. And what the?
Yeah. Isn't that nice? Don't take sides. Don't get caught up. People get caught up, for sure. And I agree about this war welfare stuff. It's only spreading the death and misery and destruction and causing more problems than it's solving. Terrible. Nice. Latin A. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to hang up until you hang up on me.
Nice. True. Well, appreciate the message. It's good to hear from you.
Thank you.
Take care. Nice. Right on. And she knows not to click on me. Some quick super chats before. Oh, you know what? Yes. No. One more call. Artie Art from Ohio, not the sundown town of Dayton. What's up, Art? Thank you for calling.
How you doing?
Doing fine. How are you?
You caught me at a kind of bad time. I'm at work, but now you cool. I'm going in this room right now, so it ain't all loud.
Oh, thanks,
but now
man.
I wanted to talk. Nah, you cool. First thing I wanted to talk to you about is why you feel like you said something about the blocking the word goofy.
Oh, yeah, because in Canada, you can't say GOO blank because that's considered a terrible slur, one of the worst things you can call a person in Canada. I learned that from the Anchor Baby. You can't, well, you should not. You should not. Because it's very extremely offensive. It's kind of like calling somebody I don't know what the worst thing you can call somebody in America is. Or like in Spanish, which I don't think that you understood me, but it's one of the worst things you can call them.
Okay, but I thought this was America.
It is, but there are Canadian children who may listen to Hake, so out of respect for them.
It's an American show, though.
Right, it's true, but I'm sensitive to all cultures.
But then you complain about if I sit here and say that a person shouldn't be saying the N-word because you're saying that's taking away your rights for freedom of speech. But then you
well, I don't say it on my show anymore, because it's not children friendly. You don't want to set a bad example and say the N-word on my show. I don't let people say the N-word on my show. It's not like you can say it in your personal life, the G word, the N-word, and all that stuff. And nobody should be angry about it or violent about it. But there's rude words, and both the N-word and the G word are considered rude words. And there's a time to be rude, and funny and crude and all that stuff. But that time is not during the Hake report on air, hopefully.
Goofy was a term. Goofy was a term that was made to basically call somebody being funny or silly.
Right.
They even had a cartoon on Nickelodeon that was called Goofy. You see what I'm saying? Like that's something that American, like you banning something that would start.
Now, you're right. It's a foolish and or a silly person, a goofball. Your brother's a total G-word. But in Canada, prison slang, it's a child molester.
I mean, I'm understanding
according
what you're
to
saying
Google,
about
Wikipedia.
I'm understanding what you're trying to say about what does somebody say in Canada have to do with something that's going on that we talking about in America. This an American show.
It is an American
That's-
show, but there are many Canadian children who listen to my show, and I don't want to be a bad example to them on purpose. And it's funny. I think it's funny to be sensitive about the G word. Part of it, man, is just a stick. Don't take it too seriously.
Well,
That's my shtick. You know how
I'm not-
I censor stuff that doesn't even necessarily need to be censored? It's kind of like that.
Well, that's my whole problem. that you have a problem with the banning the speech, but you banning yourself.
I know. Yeah, man.
If somebody's in Iran say that sleazeball is a racial slur, you gonna ban that. If somebody in China,
yeah, true.
If somebody,
right?
If somebody
go ahead.
If somebody in China says that somebody's being a ding dong, which means a liberal or a Looney Tune or a nutcase, then you gonna ban that. You gonna stop saying that just because it might be offensive in another part of the land that ain't even your land. But I just wanted to bring that little point up.
It's true. It's so true, man. And you can say goofy, but you just cannot say it. You cannot say it without the Y at the end.
Well, hey, look, I'm gonna say the F word for the gays.
Right.
If you don't like,
but not on the Hake report.
Yeah, not on this show. Yeah. Ain't none of these little new generation kids gonna make me feel bad for saying what somebody is. If you gay, you gay. If you a F, you a F, or whatnot. I'm not gonna
think about all the stuff that I disavow. I disavow stuff that I don't even actually personally have any problem with. Some of the stuff I disavow stuff I agree with.
Well, sounding like you might need to get figure out what that liberal side of you, figure that liberal side of yourself out. But
for sure, man.
I'm not gonna stop saying goofies, simple stuff like that. Yeah. But I ain't, other things or whatnot, racial slurs that pertain to America that I know in America that I've been hearing for years that I know are racial terms. I know not to say that. That's just out of respect, but
of course,
not for no other land, because I might as well just start. But anyways, long story, you get my drift.
Of course.
Second thing is that that little reporter whatnot that you showing the black guy interviewing the Israel dude. He sounds like, and this is what I'm saying or whatnot, don't get it wrong. I know that most of these news companies are liberal.
Right, they are.
It's just like over here in America. But he was sounding like one of these liberals in America whatnot, trying to make you feel bad or whatnot. He was sounding like one of these Jews over here in America that want to force everybody to believe the Holocaust, and they try to make you feel bad if you don't feel bad for their cause or whatnot, or one of these pro-blacks, or one of these feminist, lefty, loony liberals or whatnot, females. The man used to beat us when we was married or whatnot. That's why we don't want to. That's why we asked, or we wanted to kick them out the house. And if you don't believe them or whatnot, you want me to keep Palestine's lights and stuff on, and they're my enemy. And I'm just going off saying that even with, just like you said that. You said that you were saying something about. You said something about they was found. They said that Israel knew about it and they gave them a stand down order.
According to Ben Domenech's post on X about what Charlie Kirk said, Charlie Kirk might have found information that indicated that some of the people in Israel's government may have known about something about to happen. And there was allegedly, according to Charlie Kirk, according to Ben Domenech, a stand-down order to allow the attack to happen. I don't know if that's true or not true.
Well, if they saying that a lot of the stuff that did happen over there that happened or whatnot, you couldn't tell me all that stuff wasn't coordinated and then somebody didn't have some inside knowledge that was going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Somebody had to have some information about that. That's just like even with little stuff that be happening, the little hoods and in the ghettos, even in the white neighborhoods. Like, y'all know when Susie and Brian are arguing or fighting or whatnot, or when or Susie been cheating on Brian or whatnot, and then Hake is over there like, man, when Brian find out, he's gonna pull his hair out, he's gonna go crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody, the streets talk. These people talk. So you can't tell me that they didn't know that something was going on. And just like I said, even with the news, dude, this ain't nothing but for further signs showing art that Israel's liberals, Hamas is liberal, and they both terrorist groups. Because just like they said that with Israel did that to Palestine, I also heard that Israel was dropping weapons out the sky onto Turkey too, and they was claimed to have killed a whole bunch of Turkish kids over there.
You know,
in Turkey.
It never. That's the problem with fighting. It never ends. It's endless. It's endless revenge, and it's never going to stop.
Yeah, and one more thing, I'm gonna get off here real quick. Just like they shouldn't be funding any terrorists. You shouldn't be funding any good group organizations too or whatnot over there, because it's basically if you fund the terrorists, it's going to incentivize them to keep doing evil. And if you even support any of these good groups, it might be helping towards the good groups, but in turn, you taking resources away from America. I don't support neither one of them or whatnot.
Right.
But
you know, there was a last quick point. I saw a comment on Rumble from my Friday show. Canadian David said that you have animus to overcome. You have animus. Do you know what animus is? It's like
animosity.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what he would be referring to when he was talking. What he was talking about animosity towards like.
I don't know I don't know either. I remember your call on Friday had to do with Israel, I think, and also you mentioned the N-word, agreeing with the guest radical coder Ryan about the N-word being offensive and shouldn't be said and stuff like that. But I don't remember what it was, but it's something to watch out for, man. If just watch yourself, like JLP always advises, keep your eyes on you, even when you're observing this insanity in the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can say that. That's like I could say that you and Jesse stubborn or whatnot. Just like you were saying, just like you was quoting the thing about what Moses said or whatnot. But you and Jesse don't seem to understand and get the point that the Israelites was saying when we say that the Bible and Moses. I think Moses said that we were supposed to be taken out of that land, and ain't nobody supposed to return back to that Israel land until God returns, and then he will put his people back in that land or whatnot. And clearly God ain't returned because it ain't no peace on the earth. And when God's supposed to return, it's supposed to be peace on the earth. So we know that them people ain't over there. And then if America is supporting them being over there, they're supporting evil because they're going against what the Bible said or whatnot. They're not supposed to be doing. That goes for me and Weiss and anybody over there in that land. You ain't nobody supposed to be over there in that land. It says it in the Bible. But God bless you, Hake. I'll catch you later. Thank you for your time. We still rolling with Trump.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Yep.
All right. I hung up on him because I didn't want to get the click. I did not want to get the click. Okay. Let's talk about Iran. Do you stand? Well, this is not really about Iran. This is about women. Do you stand with the Iranian women? I stand with Iran against the Iranian women. I couldn't even keep a straight face. Although the temptation, is it the devil inside me, wants to stand with Iran against the Iranian women? Because the mainstream media is all kissing up to the Iranian women. And I say they're doing it. I'm like a year late, like a year and a month late. In September, I saw this statement from United about the, women Iranian Solidarity United. It's in that main folder from today's folder, Hassan. United for Intercultural Action. Never heard of this organization, but I wanted to show one of the artworks. Oh, no, not that one. Oh, I want to get to that one later, but not that one. But Women Iranian Solidarity United. So look at this drawing of a woman with a whole bunch of women holding up their fists and pointing and stuff in the air like little communists inside of her hair. Spaghetti type hair. Isn't that an interesting drawing? Mildly attractive woman and then slightly less attractive, angry-looking women looking a little bit haggard with their fists up, most of them. You see them? You see that? Well, if you're watching the video, you see that. Like a pencil drawing or whatever. United Statement, whatever this thing is. It's an outlet. September 2022 statement. We stand in solidarity. It's a communist buzzword. Except Trump said solidarity, so he's a Christian communist, right? We appreciate Trump. Solidarity with the Iranian women, and call to end excessive violence against the protesters in Iran. I didn't even cover this back when it was happening. Maybe because I was out. I was out half of August, all of September, all of October, and half of November. So that's 2.5, 3 months. I was out. Whew. Maybe more than half of November. Yeah, I was out a long time last year, and I hardly covered this. Maybe in Hake News I covered it. Struggling Hake, trying to read Hake News on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. So I searched women, Iranian, Biden. Biden expressed concern about the intensifying violent crackdown a year ago on the peaceful protesters, communist buzzword, in Iran, including students who are invariably students are, don't say this too much, kids, but stupid. And women, also, oftentimes silly, you know? Who are demanding their equal rights and basic human dignity. This is from Brave AI, Brave browser. The United States stands with Iranian women and all citizens of Iran who are inspiring the world with their bravery. The United States making it easier for Iranians to access the internet, facilitating internet is corrupting sometimes. Well, anyway, facilitating greater access, communist buzzword, to secure outside platforms and services, holding accountable Iranian officials and entities such as the morality police, based morality police. No, far be it from me to call any Muslim based. Shout out to the Muslims. That are responsible for employing violence to suppress civil society. Sometimes violence is justified. There's justified violence and there's unjustified violence. You know, some of these women have died, and I don't know if they've been killed. There's speculation. I don't know who knows the real story. These women who don't want to wear their hijabs, their head coverings, like good Muslims. When in Muslim land, do as Muslims do. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. The United States will be imposing further costs on perpetrators of violence against peaceful protesters. There was a protest over the supposed killing of Mahsa Amini. And it may well have been unjust, an actual killing. Growing, many protesters in the United States. In the United States through a visa, they must eventually return to Iran if they can't get a job or need to visit family. Singer Rita Yahan Faruz. Oh, I like the Persian singer gals. Oh, I need American Anchor Baby to go. I can't even do it. Dang. This makes me want to bring Agnus Dei from Sepida Vahidi, whatever. I should play that at the end of the show instead of my Mary Rice Hopkins. I'll see if I have it. She expressed solidarity with Iranian women. Blah, 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 blah. All women to stand united for freedom. And then show this meme that I had censored. I've censored it, and I'm not uncensoring it, okay? I stumbled upon this on Tumblr. Gross. Made the mistake of going on Tumblr, and it has a woman in a burqa on the upper right. This is a human being, worthy of respect. And then a woman who looks like the Mary, except she has a black shawl on. The Virgin Mary, except tanner than I picture the Virgin Mary. And then it has another gal who looks like she's from the prairie with a hat. Like a old church lady with a hat. Black church lady from the country. And then it has people dressed, gals dressed very poorly, including a hula girl, some gal who looks like she's at Santa Monica Beach, and then some other gal who doesn't have anything on. Terrible. No faces on them. And each one they say, this is a human being worthy of respect. This is a meme. I think it's a meme. The left can't meme, right? Women can't meme. Can women meme? I don't think women can do anything, right? They can do anything. All human beings are worthy of respect, no matter how they choose to dress or how much you can see of them. A human body is a human being. Preachy meme, huh? And those burqas are so creepy. Aren't they so creepy? Oh my gosh. Looks like a bad person from Star Wars or something. Ridiculous. Nick could have been a voice actor if he had never crossed paths with Bond. Yeah. Ridiculous. So, is there anything else? From burqa to naked. Ridiculous. And I censored that stuff because it's gross. I should have censored even maybe more, but ugh. So preachy. Those women, they're not very convincing. Anyway, that's that. That's that. There's this, speaking of women, there's this SheSaid campaign. She sells seashells down by the seashore. Hashtag SheSaid. I meant to get to this from Wikipedia. Let's see. Wikipedia had this, far left extremist, totally reliable Wikipedia. One of my favorite sources, perhaps my third or fifth favorite source for information, Wikipedia, are kissing up to women. Now you know they're not objective. Celebrating inspiring women. No woman is inspiring. Or are they? I don't know. Maybe. One wiki quote entry at a time. Give her a voice. Join hashtag SheSaid today. Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Free because it's propaganda. Have you ever donated to Wikipedia? Okay, so I click into this and find out more. Wiki loves women. Yeah, right. No, you don't. You don't love anybody. / she said. And if she said it, it's not necessarily true. I need to find that quote from the Bible, from the Old Testament that says, testimony shall be established by 2 or more witnesses. And if it's by a woman, you need a man because the woman's testimony is not necessarily reliable. The Bible, the Old Testament knows better than Wikipedia. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. I'll have to find that for you guys. Does anybody know that quote? Okay, so it's a drive run by Wiki in Africa. Oh, so Africa is woman run? As part of the Wiki Loves Women initiative. Campaign aims to celebrate and recognize women. Imagine celebrating and recognizing men. Lordy. It's been truly remarkable. Did Denny in Bulgaria write this? Hey, based Denny in Bulgaria. Truly remarkable. With over 7,721 new articles created in 11 different languages across 3 editions. Because they're quoting these women. And what are they saying? They're not saying stuff. Okay, number 3. Celebrating inspiring women across Africa and beyond. One Wikipedia or wiki quote entry at a time. And look, it has Oprah. Oprah? She used to sometimes put out useful information. You're supposed to change your pillowcase and or pillow after some months. Who's that gal on the far left? Is that Margaret Sanger? I don't know. Some other gal. Is that Nina Simone? Is that Nina Simone? Does anybody know? It is, huh? Nice. I like a deep-voiced woman. She has a cool voice. Nina Simone. Some other gal who looks like she's a Danielson. She has a headband on. Looks somewhat athletic. Okay, number 4. Here's a quote from that they found quotable. Malala. I used to mispronounce it Malalala. Malala. Yousafzai. She's that gal who got shot in the face by Muslim guys who didn't want her to be edumamificated. You know, a lot of the old school Muslims, so-called extremists or whatever, don't want gals getting all educated and rising up, right? It's a problem. And they shot her in the face, but she survived. And she became this inspiring figure by the mainstream media kiss-ups. And now she's a young gal. I saw her posing with Greta Thunberg. You know, the woman who's the former child, mentally ill Swedish child, was once a child. About the climate stuff. So these young females, they get propped up as sympathetic, supposedly inspirational figures. I speak not for myself, but for those without a voice, those who have fought for their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, the right to equality of opportunity, their right to be educated. She's a Pakistani activist, Malala Yousafzai, for female edumamification, and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, whatever a laureate is. Do you know? Spoiler alert, says Hake. I thought it was only the Quran, that said a woman's testimony is less worth than a man's, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I read it in the Bible when I was reading the Bible all the way through. I read it all the way through one time, and I remember reading it. Malala. Who else? That's not that inspiring. Okay, whatever. It's not that inspiring. Anyway, here's another quote. My opinion. Annie Akpi, technology and digital activist. Okay. Given an opportunity, you have to take it and run with it. I like that quote. Okay, nice. But I already heard that quote from Bill O'Reilly, based Bill O'Reilly. You get an opportunity, you take it. That's from Bill O'Reilly. So I didn't need you, Annie Akpi. And learn as much as you can, because remember, it's something that you're choosing. So when you're choosing it, the more you learn, the more you are, the better you are, she says. Black gal. Mildly attractive. Nice smile anyway, right? Yeah. And it's a painting of her. Watercolor looking thing. Okay, all right. That's an okay quote. I give it a C. I give it a C. I think it sounds very womanish, but okay. Not going to hate. We don't hate. We hake. Wangari Muthamathi, number 6. We must resist the notion that there is only one way to be a woman, one way to be African, and one way to be human. What does that mean? That's not a good quote. I don't like that quote. Kenyan social, environmental, and political activist who founded the Green Belt movement. But I like her smile. She's got a cute smile. Right on, gal. At least we got her picture in Wikipedia. That's cool. Who else? Oh, this one has Gloria Gaynor. This is the 7th one. Almost done, guys, gals. American singer Gloria Gaynor. Best known for the disco era hits I Will Survive. Great song. Shout out to the ladies. And Let Me Know I Have a Right, 1979. I Am What I Am, 1983, and her version of Never Can Say Goodbye, 1974. On Wiki quote, not poked. Well, we all know self-esteem comes from what you think of you, not from what other people think of you, says Gloria Gaynor. And look at her. Right on, Gloria Gaynor. American singer gal, right? But that's why I don't like self-esteem. I knew I didn't like self-esteem, and she explained it. This is a wise quote, but I don't think that she means it the same way I'm taking it. We should abolish self-esteem because you're not supposed to think of you. You're not supposed to esteem yourself. Esteem is self-esteem. I remember reading about it in like 4th grade, self-esteem in a textbook. Can you believe it? In the early 90s, they were pushing self-esteem on kids. Degenerate. Sick. I had a dream. Some girl that I liked, she liked me first, but then I started to like her. And in my dream, she's all, it's self-esteem. And we were like playing volleyball or something. Hurry up, Hake. And I'm like, I don't like that word. Oh, it's an offspring. I kind of like them. The punk rock band, the pop punk band. One of those quotes is of Elliot Page, but they use her before picture, formerly known as Ellen Page. Whoa. Thank you, spoiler alert. That's funny. But you're not supposed, isn't this a great lesson from JLP? You're not supposed to take, even Jesus said, a great lesson from Jesus is in Christ, the Messiah. Take no thought for your life. Thank you, Gloria Gaynor. Court says, no self-esteem, bring back self-deprecation. Jib Jab says, I'm still traumatized from sex ed in the 5th grade. What? They had 5th grade? And Jib Jab ain't no spring chicken. That's a double negative. No such thing as ain't. Wow. Okay, and then last one. That's a great lesson, right? Last one. When you are promoting virtues such as respecting equality and full recognition of everyone's rights, sounds communist, what a better way to spread the message than through the universal language, music, says Hope Misake. And I had to censor her attire because it was too scanty. Music. I told you universal language. I told you music is liberal. King David played the harp to calm down King Saul because King Saul had an anger problem. King David would play the harp for him. He was a shepherd boy, and then he slung Goliath with a slingshot. Whoosh, bah, right between the eyes or in the forehead or somewhere. And then cut off his head. Terrible. Anyway, that's that for She Said. That's too much. I feel like skipping down some other reading stuff to get to George Floyd. Let's do it. George Floyd throwbacks. This is what I've been meaning to get to for some time. Ooh, oh, and Ariana Grande. Okay. This is clip 51. I finally watched the George Floyd arrest videos, as I told you last week, in their entirety, and I have it censored appropriately, okay? Children, you don't necessarily have to look away. You can if you like, if you're sensitive of the heart. You know, the faint of heart. We love the faint of heart if we love anybody. There's this black dude in it. Oh, okay, cover your ears, children. Yeah, leave the room, kids. Cover your ears. There's cussing in this. And the cussing was in the news. I guess they couldn't understand his ebonics. It's not ebonics. They couldn't understand him. But the network news played this. This is a combination of 2 different videos. 2 minutes long, I think, roughly. Black dude telling him he can't win. Get in the car. Stop resisting arrest. But he's so out of it and in a fit and crying mama and saying he hurts and he can't breathe while in the car. Nobody's on top of him or anything. And he's claustrophobic and he has anxiety, 46-year-old man, I think. having anxiety. Here it is. Clip 51, I hope.
God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic. You ain't gonna win. I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing to them.
See?
Man, I'm scared as fuck, man.
Oh, sorry, kids.
When I start breathing, it's gonna go off on me, man. Okay.
Big old man.
Let me count to three. I'm going.
Look at him.
Please.
See the black guy?
Please, I'm not
He
trying
can't
to
win.
I'm not trying to win. I'll get on the ground, anything.
See? I'll get on the ground, anything.
I'm going down. I'm going down.
It's the other side. They get him in one side, he jumps out the other. Or tries to. See the black dude's telling him, get in the car. Black dude in the street telling him, get in the car. He was in the sidewalk.
I can't breathe.
See, he's in the car, nobody's on top of him, and he's saying he can't breathe.
Is he want to kill me?
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I tell you.
Can we figure out what's going on?
Forgery for what?
Forgery for what?
Please, man.
He's in.
Come on out.
Oh, sorry, kids. My bag.
Mama.
There he is, mama.
One of the front couches
Mama.
on my right side back.
Mama.
Bro, get up, get in the car, man.
I will.
Get up, get in the car.
I can't
Get in the
move.
car.
Wipe the whole. Get in the car.
Mama.
Get up.
Mama.
Poor George.
Can't.
Get that
All right.
We wish him well.
You can't in, man.
I'm
See?
through.
I know you a nigga, you didn't listen.
See? There's the Asian man.
My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts.
Poor guy. So, rest in peace, George of Florida. Chin up king. Chin up kings. You persecuted police. We have no ill will for anybody. Not even the insurrectionists who tore apart communities and killed people and were evil. Hake's a little tender heart. So that's the first time I've ever played any portion of that on my show ever, I think. And I remember, guys, I don't have the clippage for you. I don't like that term, clippage. I disavow it. Remember, I was sympathizing with that one clip that I heard on the news at one point saying, he is human, bro. Well, that was an annoying black guy, and black guys aren't normally annoying to me, okay? But this guy turned annoying after a while. Like, he kept on saying, bro, you a bum, bro. Okay, I get saying it like twice, 3 times, okay? But he kept on saying it and trying to get off the curb. And the Asian man's like, the lesson is, don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs, kids. The Asian police officer who's trying to keep the peanut gallery. I disavow any racial reference to the peanut gallery. But the peanut gallery, these people, these guys who were like, oh, get off his neck. That ain't right. You're on his neck. And then this female, purportedly white female firefighter woman, I'm a EMT. I'm a firefighter woman. She didn't say woman. And she got off the curb and tried to go, let me check his pulse. I need to check his pulse. Can you guys go check his pulse? They were interrupting the police work and making it worse because they're distracting them, in my opinion. See, if anything, they made it worse. Say your little comments, move on, but be orderly. But you made the Asian man have to pay attention to you rather than pay attention to his fellow officers. And I did at one point. I saw, okay, this guy stopped struggling and he stopped screaming and he just stopped maybe even breathing. I'm not sure. You know, the Georgia, Florida, that guy, he like conked out. And the EMT, one of the guys, thought he was dead. You guys all know this. This is like 3 years ago, right? 3.5 years ago almost. And maybe they should have gotten off him at that point. It was maybe, I acknowledge that it was questionable. At worst, it was worthy of a reprimand. But not worthy of like charges. Murder? Really? Chauvin has Hake arms. Yeah, I mean, no, he wasn't even that strong or heavy. I think he was like 140 pounds. Maybe more than that. And I'm heavier than that, by the way. I'll have you know. So Yeah, they didn't help the situation. They're typical liberal mama meddlers. Making things worse. My opinion. Chauvin has the Jeffrey Dahmer stare, says Mr. Pink. Yeah, he might have been like in one of those awkward white guys. He was married to an Asian gal. Shout out to the guys, the white men married to Asian gals. You know who else? You know who else? Never mind. I'm not going to talk about people's past. And I'm not, when I laugh in the midst of presenting a story, I'm not laughing at catastrophe that befalls people, okay? I'm laughing at things that are amusing. But see, the somewhat old-timer black guy, get in the car, man. Get in the car. He even gets off on the street. He might not have been helping that much either. But Georgia, Florida. Hat tip to Earl, my former caller. Second favorite caller ever. And there were emotional, even Hake, kind of like, oh, that didn't look right. You know, he looks like his knees on the neck. Oh. And I remember other, you know, fairly conservative, reasonable former police officers. I've heard multiple former police officers who thought, oh, this murder, my opinion. Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But my opinion is murder. So I get that people overreacted to it, but looking at it 3 years later, objectively, as objective as Hake can be, right? And I can't even be that objective because I already kind of know this is bogus speech. It's a kangaroo court. We had that Muslim liberal, and shout out to the Muslims, but this is a Muslim liberal, light-skinned black, Keith Ellison, and shout out to the light-skinned blacks, but Keith Ellison sitting in court the whole time, or so much of the time anyway, on camera for Derek Chauvin's trial, the former police officer, whose Asian wife divorced him amidst this whole thing, by the way. So much for till death do your part, for better or for worse, richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. Nope, these gals are not, they're disloyal, very disloyal. That's a reference to some rapper who said it, and he was right. That should be in Wiki quote. They're not loyal, they're disloyal, very disloyal. Anyway, that's that's old news anyway, but it's, had you ever seen it highlighted about that black guy saying, you can't win. I told you, get up and get in the car. What a mess. Here's another BLM victim, another white cop lynched. And that might be exaggerating to say lynched. I get it. Okay, I disavow. But this was from Friday the 13th. The Commie Nonsense Network shares this quote. And I mentioned it in Hake News on Friday, I believe, on the JLP show. I might have even mentioned it in the Hake Report at the beginning. Hopefully today's verdict can be a sign for healing. And that's a quote from probably last Thursday, maybe. A fat chance, some verdict being a sign for healing. And that's Colorado's Attorney General, Phil Weiser. Or Weiser? W-E-I-S-E-R. Colorado Attorney General, where they have a not morally straight governor. Can you believe it? How far Colorado has fallen into pot and everything else. Issuing a statement after one Colorado police officer who arrested Elijah McClain. I have a picture of this Elijah McClain fellow, I think, in the folder. Elijah McClain. Aw, this fellow. Remember him? I haven't talked that much about him, but a little bit I did, I think. He was wearing an open-faced ski mask, like many stylish people do, blacks especially, I guess. They get cold pretty easily, you know? Just ask JLP and Joel Friday. They get colder more easily. And Colorado can get cold. 23-year-old black male from Aurora, Colorado, Elijah McClain, 1996 to the tender age of 23, died in August of 2019. Died 6 days after a violent, they call it, police encounter, according to Wikipedia and far-left extremist Google, which is evil, during which he was injected with ketamine by paramedics to sedate him because he was acting out. Why are you guys acting out? You cannot control yourselves. What a shame. On August 24th, 2019, 3 Aurora police officers confronted. You need at least 10 cops per black man. Because then you can overpower them and still be gentle and not need to escalate so much. As researcher, PhD, Dr. John R. Lott Jr. of crimeresearch.org, who has been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, said, more cops, safer for all involved in any arrest. And, okay, so the other officer was acquitted, but this officer was convicted of criminally negligent homicide of this guy, this fellow. Elijah McClain, he was a spiritual seeker, pacifist, oddball, vegetarian, athlete, and peacemaker who was exceedingly gentle, according to somebody. His mother homeschooled him. He was a homeschooled young black man. Doesn't he look just nerdy enough to be homeschooled? Shout out to the nerdy blacks who were homeschooled. I can relate. I was homeschooled a couple of years. Intellectually gifted, but fiercely independent. He's a massage therapist too, by the way. So he wasn't that weak. He was strong enough to be a massage therapist. Said one of his clients called him the sweetest, purest person, definitely a light in a whole lot of darkness. An acquaintance said, I don't even think he would set a mouse trap if there was a rodent problem. So, this Commie Nonsense Network calls him, or maybe the Skim, I think Commie Nonsense, CNN, an unarmed, like it's relevant, right? An unarmed 23-year-old black, and they capitalized the B in the word black, male in an open-faced ski mask. Someone called the cops on him, by the way. Said he looked suspicious. I don't know. Died after he was subdued by police and injected with ketamine. What's ketamine? In 2019. Sedative. So they're doing this witch hunt against cops who have to manhandle these guys. And I don't know what possessed this guy to go so out of control. I think the cop said he had like superhuman strength. What? Isn't that wild? To me, that's wild. He looks like he's skinny and not strong. Whew. I'm chuckling because do you guys want to hear about do you guys want to hear, this is the end of that. Do you guys want to hear about Ariana Grande? Let's see if I can finish this in 5 minutes. Okay, so the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, reports... I've been meaning to get to this. Who's reaching roomie status, says the evil ladies at The Skim. Ariana Grande and this one guy, Ethan Slater. Live-in boyfriend. Gross. And they're each married. They're undergoing divorce. Barely filed for divorce. This man is short and purportedly white. Look at him. Looking all goofy with his smile and bow tie. And he already has children by his high school sweetheart, Plain Jane wife. And shout out to the Plain Janes. July 2023, the wife is all bitter, running her mouth, blaming Ariana Grande, for home-wrecking her family. But her husband is bought it. Her husband went along with it. What, her husband doesn't have agency? This man who's getting with this Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande is a singer woman, right? And this guy is like a Broadway actor guy or something. And she's also an actress. I think she was a Nickelodeon star. one step above Disney or below. I don't know which. They're both way down here. Evil. Okay? And she's like, looks 13 perpetually, but she's in her 30s now. And, anyway, clip 50. No, not 50. Let me show you Ariana Grande because she's so. No, let me. Okay, yeah, let me show you guys. How long is this? 2 minutes long. And then another 40 seconds. Yeah, I have time. Ariana Grande history. Look at Ariana Grande's history. Clip 22. Do you have it? Here it is. Because I didn't know this about her. She went from Nickelodeon star. I didn't even know she was Nickelodeon. Then she became like this teen idol gal. In-demand artist. She's huge. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like a star. 2008 Broadway musical. And I'm fast forwarding this. She was in 2010 stuff. 2011. I censor some of it because she doesn't dress very well, in my opinion. iCarly, whatever that is. She did a solo debut. Looking all like she's a grown woman, and she was like 13. Look at that. She got number 1 on Billboard 200. Wow. Mac Miller, her ex-boyfriend who overdosed. Pete Davidson tried to commit suicide, another ex-boyfriend. I censored that one. Another debut, top of the Billboard charts. Best pop video. She was with Bang Bang song and some other stuff. Blah, blah, blah. She was also an actress again. 2016. Grammy nominations. Another thing. Another album. She's been at it a long time, actually. How's she still 13? Blah, blah, blah. Degenerate. Dressing not morally straight. Kind of slutty. Don't say that word, kids. Coachella, blah, blah, blah. 2019. VMAs. Artist of the Year. Grammys. Some song. I've never knowingly heard a song. Justin Bieber. Duet type of thing. VMAs. Video Music Awards. MTV crap. Sorry, kids. Thinking she's all cute. Always giving the fans what they want. She's wearing a mask. So that's Ariana Grande. She's been at it a long time. I respect the physical success. So here's the married couple whom she is complicit in breaking up. Clip 24. The married couple broken up by Ariana Grande. Check this out. Terrible. You see it, 24? Here it is. Coming up soon. In a second. Just give us a second. You see it there? Look at this. Look at this happy couple. And she's not even that much of a plain Jane. Doesn't he look weird? Shout out to the weird guys. Symmetrical face, I guess. Not a girl's girl, the gal says. She's taller than him. The wife taller than him. And they have, like, children. 2 children. He was in SpongeBob, this Ethan Slater guy. Is he even American? And he's, like, red-haired. So these red-haired people spoiling their genes by getting with these brown gals. And shout out to the brown gals. Divorced from her estranged husband, Dalton Gomez. It's terrible. So that's from page 6. So there's your Ariana Grande feature that I've been teasing for weeks. Her husband, whom she's divorcing, is 28, and she's like 30-something. So she was older than her husband, who's currently her husband. And I remember she was ex-girlfriends with Mac Miller, the Jewish rapper, white guy, who totaled his G-Wagon because he was drunk driving, allegedly. And she was also, no mention, by the way, of the terror attack in her name in Paris or somewhere. London or Paris or something. The Muslim terror attack. And she was also with Kim Kardashian's ex-boyfriend, Pete Davidson, suicidal Pete Davidson, whose dad died in 9/11 as a fireman. Pete Davidson, who joked about the eye patch man who lost his eye in a war or whatever on Saturday Night Live. That Pete Davidson. interesting fella. So, it's just kind of shocking to me that these people do these crazy things, but I guess that's the world that they grew up in with no values, or not the very loosey-goosey values. We'll put it that way. I suppose that's the story with her. Let me see if there's anything else that I meant to check out. Yeah, they're living together, unmarried, and they're already married to other people still. She's not a girl's girl. My family's just collateral damage. Ariana's the story, really, not a girl's girl. I guess that means she's not on team girls, is what the wife is complaining about. Man. Gossip fest. You can save her, Hake. I know. No, I'm not even interested. She's not pretty to me. I mean, she's pretty, like a pretty little 13-year-old girl. Only younger millennials are attracted to that. Younger millennials, like 10 years younger than Hake. Then I understand, okay, being attracted to that. She's too, like, fake innocent looking. Fake, cute, and innocent looking. Man, I am remiss in not reading the super chats. You know what? Man! I will have to read the super chats tomorrow. This has been the Hake Report. Apologies to the super chatters. I am remiss. Rick in Hampton, Virginia. Gonna have to call in tomorrow. He wanted to talk about mail-in voting. And I'm not gonna get to this Persian woman. I'll play the Persian woman singing her beautiful Christian song tomorrow. Let's play some Mary Rice Hopkins. Easter, rise up. We need some Christianity on the Hake Report. Am I right? And in your life. But the real thing. Enjoy and adios, America. I'll stick with you through it.
Stand up, turn around, touch the ground, for I am alive. I can dance, I can sing, I can do so many things. I'll tell you the reason why. He rose up from the grave.
Jesus.
He rose up from the grave.
Christ the Messiah.
He is not dead,
He is alive.
He rose
Up from the grave.
Stand up, turn around,
Touch the ground.
for I am alive.
I can dance, I can sing, I can do so many things.
I'll tell you the reason why.
Anchor Baby Show.
He rose up from the grave.
This is nice.
He rose up from the grave. He is not dead, he is alive. He rose up from the grave.
Nice.
Rise up,
Rise up.
rise up.
Mary Rice Hopkins.
Oh, children of the world. I can run, I can walk, I can listen, I can talk. I am glad to be alive.
Aren't you glad to be
I
alive?
can work, I can play, I am happy to say this is the reason why.
Super chats tomorrow.
He rose up from the grave.
I am remiss.
He rose up from the grave. He is not dead, he is alive. He rose up
From the grave.
Rise up, oh children. Rise up, oh children. We are not dead, we are alive. Rise up, oh children. Rise up, oh children. Rise up, oh children. We are not dead, we are alive. Rise up, oh children. Rise up, oh children.
Well, adios, America.